To on Mzansi Magic on the 27th of July. Hey, it's really heated in that clash in Cincinnati. We take a look at the highlights, and we mentioned, of course, Mamelodi Sundowns go early in attack or sit back. It's very clear what they wanted to do.
Yeah, that's the space that we highlighted to say Matthews have to use the space on the wide areas because they're playing with the back three. When the wing back is late to cover, it forces one of the centre backs to go across into that wide space, which centre backs don't like, addressing players in those wide areas. A good run that is being made by Matthews. Yeah, it's a bucket run that makes him stay onside in that moment. A well-taken run, and they should do more of these Mamelodi Sundowns because when they go in those wide channels, they are making that defense of Dortmund to be shaky because centre backs don't like to address opponents in those wide areas, and they did that well.
Yeah, they certainly did. So a very promising start for Mamelodi Sundowns, and then it continued from that. We spoke about the pace, the speed. Take a look at this breakaway.
Yeah, for me, that was a warning from Matthews. And again, the minute Ribeiro gets this ball, you can see how the defense of Dortmund is open. And we spoke about the speed, and I think it's when you open and make those type of runs in the channels, you stretch the defense of Dortmund, and Ribeiro obviously did really well. It's not easy to get the ball under control, running with the ball at your feet, increases speed, and then approaching obviously Kovel, and he does really well. Cool, calm, collected, and a very good finish to set them 1-0 up.
Oh, fantastic for Mamelodi Sundowns to open the scoring there, just oozing confidence in the way that they built up to that.
I think a great finish by Ribeiro. Waits for the goalkeeper to commit.
Yeah.
Calmly slows himself down and he puts it in the back of the net. They're well taken. But I would love to take a closer look at the goal that goes in. Because for me, there's a lot of things tactically. As you roll it, you're going to see that Sundowns are able to get out of the press. And what we're speaking about, look at that four Dortmund players trying to press Mamelodi Sundowns into that corner. But they managed to get out of that press with that well-organized pass. Good turn by Matthews in that instance. The end of God is on Ribeiro. He's going to go on and score the goal in this moment. Look at the three midfielders that they're trying to press Mamelodi Sundowns. I'm spiraling Thembazwane because there's an interchange of position. Now Ribeiro is central. Thembazwane takes the outside 10. And that is the space that Sundowns could have had them in this instance. They progress the ball forward. Now Mamelodi Sundowns has always looked for that space in between the three centre backs and the midfielders. That is the space that we're highlighting in that moment. Now Ribero's got an opportunity to go and run onto that back three with the space and skill that he has, playing in his 50th game for Mamelodi Sundowns this season. Look at Kuriso Mudau, look at Reyners. They've joined him in the box in this instance, but he's got the composure, he has got the confidence to be able to put the ball in the back of the net. Well done by Mamelodi Sundowns. They get out of the press, then they attack that back three. Excellent goal.
What a great start. Very confident start from Mamelodi Sundowns. Perhaps too overconfident. We take a look at what transpired here.
We know they're quite comfortable, obviously playing out from the back, but I think at one point it almost looked very casual from Ronwin. Surely you should have seen that already. There's a player in that area, and he tries to play out. And you've got to recognize, you've spoken about this so many times, you've got to see the risk versus reward. And that's a high-risk area to play out from the back, and you put it into the path of a Dortmund player to finish. And obviously, Michek does really well finishing that first time because Ronwin was out of the goal as well.
The last time Ronwen Williams took a picture, it was safe to play. I'm saying take a picture because he scans, he sees that it's okay. The next time he lifts up his head, that picture has changed, and that's how Dortmund were able to get that goal.
Yeah, this time around though, he knew to be extremely alert to spare the blushes of Sundowns here.
Yeah, again, you turn over possession, and again, Svensson goes on the overlap. Jurassi does really well getting in front of the defenders. But this time around, Jurassi, he gets a touch on the ball, but Ronwin keeps himself really big, and he makes a great save in the end.
Yeah, you spoke about Jurassi and the importance of him getting that assist to get joy.
Yeah, well, we've spoken about this again. This is a forced error from Dortmund. But the minute they win possession and regain it, he gives the pass. He doesn't just wait. He goes into that 6-yard area and he gets great elevation.
Yes.
That ball coming across. Look how he jumps early to meet the ball at the highest point. And that's what a lot of the top strikers do. We've seen it, Ronaldo do it numerous times. The minute the ball goes wide, I'm going to meet the ball at the highest point. So by the time the defender jumps, I've already won the header. And it's a great, powerful header. Ronman couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, Gerasi getting joy there, becoming the second Ghanaian player to score at the first FIFA Club World Cup after Jose Kante, who scored for Oroa Red Diamonds in a 4-2 loss in the playoff for the third against Al Ali in 2023. All right, so now back in the game and really pushed to score again.
I think when you take a closer look at that goal, as you roll it, you're going to see that it's dispossessed again. It's Mukwena that gets dispossessed. And when you look at it, it's a 4 versus 3 situation. When they progress that ball, look at that 4 versus 1. Mukwena is in trouble now. You should sense in this instance. When you roll it forward, look at how the pressure, they take away space and time even more. They dispossess Mukwena in this instance. That's what Mamelodi Sundowns has done, those mistakes. It goes to Gurasi. It becomes a 4 versus 3 in this instance. When you roll it forward, you're going to see they're looking for the wide spaces. They're looking to progress the ball wide and also the space in the box. The end of God is on Gurasi. Somebody needed to stay with him, and they don't stay with him. He missed the ball at the highest point, as Coach Sean has said, and it was a well-taken goal.
Yeah, again, you know, and I think up to this point, up to the third goal, Sundowns was really dominating. I think even the commentator said they had all the possession.
Yeah.
You know, Ronald gets a strong hand, but it falls straight to Joe Bellingham. He gets a slight deflection, but all he had to do is keep it down, and he gets his first goal, obviously, for Dortmund.
Able to get back in the second half, Sundowns?
I think if they go back to using those white spaces, when they go back to respecting the zones that they are in, they need to scan a little bit better, because the lack of scanning has resulted in them conceding 2 goals. They also need to anticipate the late runs that are being made by the midfielders. In this instance, it's a late run that is coming from Bellingham. Good first touch to set himself up, and he puts it in the back of the net. Unsighted Ronald Williams, it goes under the legs of Cupido. He sees it late and a well-taken goal.
All right, let's see if they can do that. Get some redemption in the second half.